Hi there, guys and girls. I just thought I'd do a video about my recent trip to Japan, and I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I bought when I was in Tokyo. Tokyo is just crazy, man. Like, if you like anime, video games, movies, collectibles, electronics, it's all in Akihabara. So depending where you go. Like, and Akihabara is great. Like, it's got everything. But it is a tourist place, so everything is pushed up in price a bit. And I did know this, but I was only in Tokyo one day, and I knew I was going to spend a lot of money. So just to give you guys an idea of, I went to Japan for 1 week, a solid week. We were in Tokyo for 1 day, and then the rest we basically went down to Sendai for Pokemon Go Fest, which was 4 days long, and then we came back and went home. This was because money was really tight after the Bali trip and the last Japanese trip. I've never travelled so much in my life. 3 times in 1 year is like crazy, But so it's been great. People have helped me along the way financially. I've paid some people back. People have given me some money. It's been crazy. So it's been great. I really like Japan. It's a great place. There's so many places in Japan you could go to like, I've only been to like 2 or 3 places really: Osaka, Sendai, Tokyo. But you can go to Sapporo, you could go to Fukushima, you could go to Hiroshima, you could go all sorts of places. Okinawa, and it's great. They have this awesome culture. Everything's cheap. I saw, just to give you an idea, I'm going to give you an idea for you gamers watching this is like proof that Japan is cheap, except for Neo Geo for some reason. Neo Geo is very overpriced in Japan, but regardless of that, okay. So here's an example for you. I'm in a place called Book Off. If you guys don't know, Book Off is a really good place to hunt video games. It's like a bookstore, but it has like an electronics aisle. And they have so many games. I went into one Book Off, and I'm like, they have so many like NES. I'm talking NES and DS games, and the prices are crazy. I bought, what was it? Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney 2, Justice for All. 280 yen. For those of you who don't know how much money that is, that's basically $3 Australian at the moment. I was like boxed, like mint, like, I'm like, that's a fucking good deal. Like, I've got the game. I've actually got the American import of it. For those of you who don't know, I love Phoenix Wright. An obsession. And I've always sort of wanted to get the Japanese ones because the game came from Japan, and it had a big following in Japan way before Westerners got it. We got it when the DS came out, but it was already established on Game Boy before that. And it's such a great game. The soundtrack, it's amazing, it's fun, it's humorous, the dialogue's great, the characters are awesome. Anyway, so I found $2.80. I was like, and one thing too with my Phoenix Wright collection, because I like physical media. There were 2 games that came out in Australia that we never got physically. We never got the 5th game and the 6th game, The Spirit of Justice and The Dual Destinies. But I knew Japan had it, and America might have had one of them as well. So I never had them. So I had this hole in my physical media collection. I found both when I was in Japan. I found 5 and 6. So I filled the physical hole. Even though I might never play them, I've got a physical copy of both, which is cool to have. For me, anyway. I like to have the full collection, the full, sort of like what you see here, but they're in the games cabinet. So, but anyway, enough of that. I've got some stuff here that I want to show you. I bought back from Japan. So, this is the crux of the video. This is the main. So, I went to Japan with $1,200 spending money total from Australian money converted into Japanese. I had a little bit of reserve, like another 500 reserve that I hadn't converted. And I knew I was going to go a little crazy in Tokyo because I thought I'm just going to be playing Pokemon most of the time, so I'm not going to need money in Sendai other than like food and stuff. So I was prepared to go a little wild in Tokyo, but I didn't think I'd go this wild. All right, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to put up the places. So we're wandering around Tokyo, and at first we were waiting for things to open because we got there early to Akihabara because we came from Wano, and I forgot that in Japan everything opens at 10, but everything's open late, and I love that. I've always said that's how it should be in Australia, because in Australia everything's like open at 9 but closes at 5:30. It's just so stupid. I actually think people would be more productive if they got a little bit of a sleep in, and open a bit later, like 10 o'clock, and then you work the same amount of hours, but you work a bit later into the night. But you get that sleep in the morning. You get that. You don't have to drag yourself out of bed and you feel like a zombie. Do you know what I mean? And that's how they do it in Japan, and it seems to work because they're great at their jobs. They really are. But yeah, so we're walking around and nowhere's open. So we're waiting. And I think the first place we went into that opened was a Geigo, because now you can see in there this Omanyte. This is a Pokemon called Omanyte. For those of you who don't know. And as you can see, the little Omanyte here is from the Pokemon Center. This big Omanyte is not from the Pokemon Center. But what happened was, he's one of my favourite Pokemons. And every time I've gone to Japan, or someone I know I've gone to Japan, I've asked them to bring me back a little Omanyte. And it's always sold out. You can't get this fucker in Japan. I don't know why. It's always sold out. And we think it's sort of like, because it's like seafood, like a squid. Maybe that's why. And in Japan, they love seafood and stuff. I know. I can never get it. Now, the one above him, I got him this time. Omastar. He's available. But Omanyte, you can't get Omanyte. And I like Omanyte more than Omastar. But it's funny because last time I was in Japan, my friend who I travel with had followed someone on social media, and he'd gone to the Geigo that I'm talking about, and they had a machine full of these big Omanytes, and I was there. I just didn't go into that Geigo, or I walked through it and didn't see it like quickly because I was walking around last time, going to the electronic shops and looking through the arcades. And claw machines don't really interest me unless there's something really good in them. But I didn't see that Omanyte. And yeah, he'd posted this photo of this giant Omanyte. My friend sent it to me, and I'm like, I've got to try to get this Omanyte this time. And so I met up with one of my subscribers, Terry, if you're watching. Excellent dude. Who took a bit of time off to show us around Akihabara last time and this time. He's contributed a lot to this channel. He's done translations from Mortal Kombat Japanese text and told us what they mean, like Tujin in MKX meant intermediate level, things like that. That's an example, and Damashi Demon, etc. There was a whole bunch that he posted. It was great to have that insight, and he lives in Japan and he likes Mortal Kombat, which is very rare. Yeah, so he showed us around, and I asked him, do you know any like secret arcades, like, or try to find this Omanyte. And I realized by the end of the trip that in Japan nothing lasts. So even someone's ringing me. Who's ringing me? I bet it's a spammer. Yep, they ring me every day at this time. Yeah, so yeah, so I realised in Japan, because about a month ago they had Pikachu wearing a captain's hat called Captain Pikachu. It was a cross promotion, and I saw it on YouTube, and I thought, I'm going to get that when I'm there. I'm going to get that because that's going to be sought after a while. It's kind of cool, Pikachu with a captain's hat, blah blah. And when I was there, not one claw machine had it. It was gone, cleaned out, right? Cleaned the hell out. And yeah, so when I asked for this was like a year ago, and no one had it. We looked around, nowhere had it. And they have these machines full of Pokemon, but they didn't have Omanyte. They had, Snorlax and other Pikachus and Plusle and, Snorunt and all these other Pokemon that you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, so I thought, I'm not going to get it. you know. So, anyway, so I went into the guy go. I honestly, I'm just going to finish the story with him. I got him later. I got him down in Sendai. So I went into, because Sendai was hosting Pokemon Go Fest. The Geigos filled all their machines with Pokemon because they knew all the Pokemon people were there, and there were thousands of us there in this mall called the Arc that went through. It was like sectioned. It spanned across streets, and then it went through the middle of these buildings, and then it just lined with shops, and just kept going and going and going. It was great. And anyway, I went into one and I saw it. It was Omanite was like shoved into the back of the machine as a display. You know, it wasn't in the bin to win, but I already knew from watching claw videos that if you ask an assistant in Japan, can I try win that one, they'll put it in there and you can go for it, you know. So they did that for me, and yeah, after about 10 goes, I won him. So I got him, and that's the only one I saw in Japan. That's the only one. I've never saw it again. I even went looking to see if I could just find a second one. So I think I got really lucky to get that. It's one of those things that, you know, it was destined to be mine. But anyway, yeah, so we're at Geigo at 10 a.m. and you wait there at the door, waiting at the door in Akihabara, and then they let us in and we look around, look at the machines, you know, nothing there. And then, so we keep looking around. We went to Game Panic for a while, went to all the different floors, and a real good tip for you if you ever go to Japan. Most of the buildings you go in are going to be multi-floor, and it can be overwhelming. Like, oh shit, which floor do I go to? Because I remember the first time I went to Mandarake, which I really liked, and I didn't go into that this time. It just didn't happen. But Mandarake was a great building, and it was 8 floors high. And I went in there, I'm like, oh, which floor will I go to? Because I was looking for Captor Sakura stuff last time, and a YouTuber said, like, on the 3rd floor or something, they sometimes have Captor Sakura stuff secondhand. You know, and I went up there, and sure enough, I did get some things there. I got a few little badges and stuff. But I started to realise I'm going to the 3rd floor, then I'm going to the 2nd floor, and I'm waiting for the lift each time. I'm like, this isn't an efficient way to look through this store. This is stupid. Like, I'm waiting for lifts, and I'm just wasting time. And I'm like, I'm going to the 8th floor. And then I realised, because every building in Japan has a door, and you can just walk down to the next floor, walk down to the next floor, and walk down to the next floor. And that's the way you do it. You go to the top floor, you look at that, and then you don't bother with the lift, unless you're leaving the whole building. Go find the next to the lift, there'll be a door that goes outside, and you just walk down to the next floor. And then you do that, and then you just spiral down, like that. Spiral down, and that's how you see everything efficiently, you know. So, yeah, that's what I was doing last time. But, yeah, so we did that. We went to Game Panic, we went to a few buildings, but one of the first places I went into, and I'm going to have trouble remembering the name of this place. I had to look it up recently because I have the receipt. I have the stuff that I bought from there, like this stuff. And it actually doesn't have the shop name on this. I translated it. But I'll throw it up on the screen because I found it. I had to look it up and go through things, and I finally found out what the hell it was called. I couldn't remember, because a lot of the Japanese shops do look the same. But I went in there because we saw Pokemon plushies, looking for that. And then when I went inside, I saw Captor Sakura stuff, which is an anime from the late 90s. It's a very girly anime, but it's a really well-written anime. It has great music. The writing's like top-notch. The animation is so cool. It's like, it's not digital animation. It's old-school painted animation. It's made by a studio of like 4 women. They drew everything. They're called Clamp. And excuse me, hang on. I'm gonna have a drink. I knew I'd be doing a lot of talking. I knew I'd need this drink. So that's better. And yeah, they made some movies, and it's a great anime because it's really like happy. It's like really positive anime. Like it's really, but there's like a backstory of magic. And that's the part that I really like. There's like a history of magic in the show. It talks about how it's a mix of Chinese and English magic. And there's like a whole link between Japan, Hong Kong, and England being like sorcerers and stuff. And like it talks about families and all sorts of things. But at times the show does have real dark moments. And I don't know. It's just great. It's just so well written. So I'm a big fan of the show. I don't like a lot of animes, and I found that they were selling these cards. They were 500 yen, as you can see, which is $5, and they had 10 packets. And I just did this. I just took every single pack off the thing. And my friend's like, like that. And I'm like, it's card Captor Sakura. Don't judge me. Do you know what I mean? So I got these cards, And, they've actually got, they're actually really thick. I don't think they're plastic, but they're like really thick cards. Look at that. They're actually like really high quality. And you only got 3 in a packet. And unfortunately, like I said, I bought 10 packs and I didn't even get the set. You needed to buy more than that. But I didn't even get many doubles. I only got 2 doubles because I'm going to give my friend, whoever, the guy who makes Outworld tours, he loves Card Captor Sakura as well. Funny enough. So, so I got these cards and they're different seasons. So the yellow season was the original, and that was like the next season after it. And this is the modern season. So they actually brought Card Captor Sakura back in sort of when we were in lockdown. Yeah, around there. It's called Clear Card. And they did a season, and I think a second season or a second part. It's either a second part or season 2. But they haven't finished the show, because apparently this is a manga. This is a book that keeps coming out, and they can't make the show until the books are written or something. Anyway, I heard about a year ago that they're going to be going back and finishing the show. Do you know what I mean? So I got all excited, but I haven't heard anything since. So I'm just depends if Japan does it or not. But they love this show. They like you see this randomly wherever you go. So, but yes, there's some of the original cards, original characters. And there's some of the original from the second season. They even had gay characters that are well written in the show. They have, and this is like the modern cards, So so if you look at the backs of the cards sort of give away what season they're from. So the original cards are Clow cards. That's the symbol of Clow. She then becomes the owner of the cards. That's the symbol of Sakura. And then that becomes a symbol of, I don't know, the new Sakura. Clear card. So, anyway, you just don't see this stuff ever in Australia. I reckon even if I could get these, I could probably sell them locally, because there are a lot of people in Australia that love this show. So I bought all those cards, and then I look on the hook. They had all this paper. They're called paper theaters, and I think it was this one. Oh, it was this one. I look on the hook next to the cards, and they had these. And I'm like, oh, that's another Card Captor Sakura thing. And you basically assemble this. It's really big in Japan. It's called paper theater. You assemble it. See, it's all in layers. And you put it all together. And I'm like, that's cool. And so I bought a whole bunch. I'm going to give some to my friend. Worked on Outworld tours. Yeah, so I spent a whole bunch of money at that place. Like I said, I had about $1,200 for the week. And I'm pretty sure in Tokyo, I spent $800 to $900 of that budget on this stuff. I'm like, there was just so much stuff, and that was the first place we went to. And then the second place we went to, it's called, I left out one of the things, damn. I have to go get it. The second place was called Don Quijote. I think I'm saying that right. Don Quijote. And they had more of the Sakura papercraft, but they had the first season. It's a bigger one. And I'm like, oh. And these were, I think that was like $23. And the first ones I showed were like $16. And they had season 2, which is $15. So they had all 3. Oh, sorry, the latest season. So they had season 1, 2, and the clear one. So Sakura card, Cloud card, clear card. They had all of them. And I was just like, oh. And I'm an impulsive spender. So, what else did I get from Don Coyote? They had these, remember I was saying I wanted that Pikachu? I couldn't even find anything with the captain's hat except for this guy right here, right? And I thought, Japan loves, just a bit of history, and I'll talk about these in a minute, but Japan loves blind boxes. So you'll buy a box like this guy, right? And see down here, 6? That means 1 in 6. And so you look on the side, you're going to get one of these 6. So there's 3 on this side, and there's 3 on this side. You don't know what you're going to get. It's like a little gamble. Same with this one. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. I wanted the Pikachu, you know. You just don't know what you're going to get. I think I got the Mew on this one. Did I get Mew? Oh no, I got Guadava. So Japan likes to gamble like subtly like this. You know, with they like I don't. It is gambling, but I think for them it's more a luck thing. I think they like the idea of lucky. Like, I think they like the idea of, oh, I want Pikachu from this thing, and then when you get it, it's like, I got it. Like, they like the excitement thing. They like that it's like luck. They love luck and stuff. And they do have a lot of problem with Pinchetto machines and gambling. And this is gambling to a degree when you got to buy a whole bunch to get what you want. But you can trade them. You can sell them off at Mandarake or with trade with friends. But if you're a tourist, you're going to be either buying them for yourself or you and a friend. At least you can do it that way. Yeah, so they had these, and I thought, because on the back, you can see that there's like 5 guys. I thought that this was just a figurine and it was 1 in 6, and I thought, I'll buy 2 and hope that I get the Pikachu, right? I didn't realize these are bath bombs. I don't even have a bath. Because I opened it and I'm like, it smells nice. I'm like, see this? So yeah, you got to throw it in water and it dissolves, and I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I've got 2, so I'm hoping there's a Pikachu with a captain's hat in there. So, but yeah, Don Quixote had so much cool stuff, and I need to stop, pause for a sec, because I didn't get some of the things I want to show in the video, which is silly, and show you guys some of the other cool things I got from Don Quixote. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Now, next from Don Quixote. I saw this in a video. What's the video channel? Samurai. What's it called? Samurai. It's they're YouTubers, and they give you tips about Japan. And they gave me some really great tips actually about getting a Pasmo passport at the airport, which I used everywhere in Japan. What's it called? Samurai Junjiro channel. Yeah. Really great channel. They mentioned if you go to Don Quixote, you can get yourself one of your English names in kanji letters on a little wooden keyring, I guess. They had plastic one too, but the wooden one's nice. That's like, you sort of, I mean, it's a souvenir. I get it. It's a cheap souvenir. Okay, of course. But Japan does do things like this a lot with wood and stuff. They're very traditional. So, yeah, this cost me, I think it was like 400 yen. I think it was like $4. And you can see it's got my name there, Luke. If it'll focus. It's up there in the corner. But yeah, I got that. One thing I got. Next thing we got, of course, some shurikens. Because ninja from Japan. Unfortunately, Japan had metal ones. They had metal novelty ones. I don't know if they would have made it back to Australia, so I got the rubber ones. As much as I didn't want to get the rubber ones, I'm like, oh, these are so cool. Again, I saw them on that channel, and I'm just like, yeah. So these are all rubber. You know, there's your 4 point. There's your standard, your classic. There's my favourite, the 8-pointer. You know, I bought a few packets of them. Rubber shurikens. Yeah. Sad. Couldn't get the metal ones. Yeah, so I bought 2 packets of those because they're fun. And I did buy another packet of shurikens. I haven't opened these yet. These are just a different style 4-pointer. Let's open it. I think I opened it yet. No, I didn't. Let's open it. Whoops. I ripped it already. Okay. Whatever. So this is very cool. Look at that. Awesome. I love the note that's in this, and it's in English too. It's not in Japanese, it's in fucking English. They have to warn the stupid foreigners. Ninja Star is that to lose combat power of enemy by throwing ninja stars. Ninja existed in the Edo period. Ninja activities consist of espionage, destructive activity, assassination, and so on. Note: these merchandise are just imitation toys, handled with care. Please do not throw the imitation ninja star at people, animals, or so, as it is dangerous. Please do not carry the imitation ninja star in your pockets because unexpected injury may occur. Please keep away from children. Thank you for that, and thank you for not putting that in Japanese. I want to gozaimasu. Made in Japan, though. Gotta love that. Made in Sekai, Japan. Made in Japan. There's a lot. It's not hard to find stuff that's made in Japan. So that's the packet for the other ones. There's no paper warning in this one, so this one you can throw at animals and people. I don't know if this one's made in Japan or not. It might be under that sticker. I don't know, there doesn't seem to be... Oh, wait, no, it says Taiwan on the back of the rubber shuriken. I see Taiwan in there. Taiwan! No! These ones are Japanese. They're the better ones. Stuff that's made in Japan is amazing quality. It's always good. It's always fucking good. Food as well. You buy food in Japan. I never had bad food. Like, it's great. Love it there. Now what's this one? No, that wasn't from Don Quixote. I think that was everything from Don Quixote. Yep. So then I went, for the last year, the 2 times I'm in Japan, I was trying to get to this place. It's there's a place in Japan, in Akihabara, called Tokyo Radio Department Store. And on the bottom floor, there was a guy selling shurikens, actually. It's one of the reasons I wanted to go there. But he had, like, game consoles and stuff, and it was sort of off the beaten track. It was down in the basement, and I wanted to look at the stuff he had. There were some cool things in there, and it's real. They have great electronics in there. It's like for nerds like me who like electronics as well. And for the past 2 years, I've gone in there, and I've gone in there several times, different times. But I think he's gone. I think he went after COVID. And a guy I was watching on YouTube called Scotty. He has a channel called Strange Parts. He's the reason I wanted to go there, because I went there and they had and I'm really sad, this is something I couldn't get. One of the main reasons I wanted to go there, they had a gacha machine. If you don't know, gachas are the little collectibles. You get little machines that everywhere in Japan. They had a gacha machine full of audio chips from different consoles. Like, so you might put in $2 and you turn the thing and you get a capsule. And then it's got the Atari audio chip, or it might have the Mega Drive audio chip, or the Commodore 64, the 6581. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get. And then it's up to you to then wire it up. Or I think they had boards on there that you could drop the chip into, and then you can, like, play around with making the music, making the sounds or the notes from the chips themselves. And I just thought it was so fucking nerdy, but so cool as well, like, if you're a nerd. And as far as I know, that's the only place in Japan you could get this chip from. And that's why I kept trying to get it. And unfortunately, no, they just weren't there. I kept seeing, like, some of the machines around that bottom floor. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that was that machine. And, you know, but, yeah, no luck. But on that bottom floor, there's a guy that sells, like, computer parts. And there is a claw machine there. to win Intel CPUs. So it's just full of these Intel CPUs. It could be from a Pentium 4. It could be from a Pentium i7, i5, i3. It could be from anything, right? And they're just all there. And they've got, basically, I'll put a photo on the screen, but there's a plastic ring that goes through this. And you try and claw onto it. Anyway, it's $1 for 2 goes. So that means you could win a processor for 50 yen, which is 50 cents. And so I dropped $2 in and I won. So that's the chip I won on the machine. And it is a, hang on. This is what we use. This is what I use for all my little components to see. So we've got an Intel Pentium 1405V2. An SR1AW 1.40 gigahertz Malay L44 8C106. So I don't even know what chip this is. 1.4 gigahertz though. Intel Pentium. But that form factor is not standard Pentium, so it must be like the cut down version of an i3. That's what I reckon. But yeah, that's something that I won. Something that I spent $2 on. I think I had 4 goes and won it. What else we got in the bag? There was a guy selling pins of the Japan flag with whatever country with it. So I got a Japan Australia one. I love Japan. This was given to me out by, there's the girl, the maid cafe girl, sort of, they're always giving things out. And I think they're like tissues or moist wipets or something. So that was free. Makes me laugh. Yeah, and the other thing, where did I put it? Oh, I put it down. One second. This was the other thing I got done, Coyote, going backwards. Sorry, I forgot this one. I grabbed it and then I had to find those other little things. Paper Mario. So I got Paper Mario. It's called Paper Mario RPG in Japan. This is Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. This is one of the greatest video games of all time. It's in my top 5 with Resident Evil 4. I bought the Japanese one hoping to get around the censorship on the text. Unfortunately, when you put it in the console, it switches to English language, but it switches all the English language, even in the Japanese one. It must be global English. So it doesn't matter where you play it in the world, you're going to get the same English. And I believe it's the stuff that they changed in America. They so much censorship in this game. There's a part where Goombella gets catcalled by the first Goombas you run into, and they're like, "Hey, baby," and that, and she basically tells him to kick rocks. They took all that out. They couldn't have a girl being catcalled. But I just finished this game, and the amount of times that Mario is treated like a sexual object, they're like, "Hey, you handsome hunk of cheese," like all the time, and they're always kissing you without permission, and they're like, so it's okay for a woman to sexually harass a dude, but a girl getting harassed by guys, that's a no-go. Anyway, that's something that they changed. There's a part where Peach drinks a potion in the original, and she turns invisible to sneak past someone, and a computer tells her how to do this, and then the computer's like, "You gotta have to take the dress off because the dress isn't affected by the potion." And she's like, "That's indecent, no way," which we always got a laugh out of. They took that out in the English one. It's like, rest in peace. Peach sticking up for her dignity, that's gone. And the other thing they took out, changed, is the character Vivian. I don't know if you can see her on the cover. Oh yeah, she's up here. She's this little witch. In the original, she's like a femboy. It was really not explained properly in the original. I will say that. I just thought they just picked on her and she was a girl, but she's actually a femboy and who wants to be a girl. So they've changed it in this one, in the English one, to be she's trans, but she's not. She's Oto Koneko, which in Japanese means femboy. You know. Anyway, I thought if I got the Japanese one, I might be able to get around it. It might translate the text. It doesn't translate the text. It just switches to the English text bank that already exists from that region. So that didn't work. I still got to play the game though. I got to play through. I'm glad they didn't change Flurry, because Flurry has giant tits. And I even remember when this came out, a woman came back like screaming at us that this was inappropriate to be in a kid's game. And we're like, we just sell the game, lady. Do you know what I mean? I think she came back a few times. This lady, she complained about gambling in the game once because I had a card game where you win coins, and then this as well, because she's supposed to be like an opera singer. She's supposed to be like a busty opera singer who can blow. She can blow wind with her big lungs because she's an opera singer, right? That's her thing. So I will say, even though they changed all these things in text, they didn't change her, and I'm glad for that, because they could have, and that would have really pissed me off. So at least visually the game is there, and this is a fantastic game. If you have not picked up Paper Mario, I would highly, highly suggest playing it. It is so fun. It's such a clever game. The battle systems are great. It's extremely challenging the first time you play it through. Even just playing it through recently, I still got a few game overs. And I still haven't beaten the pit of 100 trials, so I got to do that. So that's another one I picked up from Don Quixote. Great game. So now, so I've talked about the shurikens. They can go back in the bag. Yeah. Alright. Right. Cool. Now, when I said I was in that electronics place, Tokyo Radio Department Store, I went and bought a whole bunch of electronics because I'm a huge nerd. So this might be the part of the video where you go, I don't care, that's boring. But see, I'm always working on things like this. This guy I recently assembled. This is just to play with this matrix to see how it goes. I've already got that going. And I was just, this is an Australian thing actually. This isn't from Japan, but I was just playing around with running the current through the screws on it to control it, to see if I could do that. I haven't got that working yet though. But regardless, yeah, so I bought a few of them in Japan. These beautiful matrices. They're 8x8. They're real low profile. Not cheap though, $23.80. I thought they were a bit cheaper, but they're not. I bought some of these guys. This is a straight 12-volt module, so you can put this in your car. And if you notice, there's 3 switches over here, so you can set the base colors. So for anyone who doesn't know, with an RGB module, there's like, what is it, 6 or 7 colors that you can set. White, red, green, blue, obviously, cyan, purple, yellow. I think that's everything. They're and you can set those combinations with these switches being off or on, and you can just set these to that solid color. So there's no controller needed. This thing I showed you is a controller. I program this to make the colors. I tell it what color to do. This one you just run straight power into and flick the switches, and you get the color that you set. I just like to play with some of this stuff and see how it goes. I got these guys here. This is what you guys would know as a standard LED, but this is what I really like. These guys, they're called straw hat LEDs. So straw hats aren't as tall. And they've got a bit of a rim around them. That's why they're called straw hats. And these are RGB and can be set like them. With a microcontroller though. So they call it NeoPixel. It's WS2812B is the term I know. But yeah, you can control them. So I got a few bags of them. I got these guys here. This is an 8mm. So this is the standard sort of LED, but it's just a huge one. So this isn't a straw hat. And it's diffused, as in it's milky. So it's not going to blind you as much as the clear ones. And it's the same as them. You can set the colours with a microcontroller. Bags of switches, just real cheap. I actually had some of these. But these had anchor points on the side. Little anchors. So see how there's 3 pins in the middle, and then they have anchors, so you can anchor them on the circuit board. These are some of the large tack switches. I didn't really have like an abundance of these, so a bag of these was $1.80 for 10, so 18 cents. You know, some of this stuff you can get cheaper than at this place. This is Akihabara LED. I really like going to this place. You go in there and it's just like this tiny little shop, but they've got like any sort of light that you can think of. They've basically got it there. They didn't have some of the matrices though, but independent lighting, they have a lot of it. These are something I really wanted. These are the same as that thing that I showed you on here. So this is what we call an RGB single LED, right? That module. And this is the same thing, but these are more common and more cheap. They're mass produced on these sheets, and they're round like this. I kind of like the idea of them. And I thought these would be easier to mount, that I could just glue down and run the wire from under. So I got a few packets of them as well. And yeah, they were like 10 for 800 yen, so $8, 80 cents each. Yeah, what else did I get from Akihabara LED? Oh, these are nice. So these I didn't have at all. This one I want to open. No, there's another one. Yeah, here we go. So these are the same thing again. So with WS2812B or NeoPixel, the way it works is when you're programming it, see how this has 4 lights, but it has a screw in the middle. So I thought this is great. I can put a screw right in the middle and mount that to anything, like, right? And then just run the wires underneath. There's your pads. There's your direction that you got to run the signal through. And this is a packet of 10, you know. And this was probably about, there you go, $18, so a bit more. But yeah, with WS1812B or NeoPixel, in the program you say how many lights there are. So I just say 4, and it knows then. The program knows that there's 4 lights on the string. Do you know what I mean? But I could, in theory, I could string up this one, this one, this one. They're all the same. Even though they all look different, they're all WS1812B. I could include them all in one string and put, what is that, 1, 10, 11, and then 10 of them times 4, so 140. And then I could put the total as, what did I say? 151. And then they would all work if they're all wired in a line like a Christmas strain. And that's how they work. And that's why the technology is really good and really smart. It's really easy to play with. It's just all calculations and numbers. Once you get it going, you can have some real fun. I wanted some of these speakers. They only had 2 left, unfortunately. I was going to buy a whole bunch. But I did get some nice 8-ohm speakers that are magnetic. Always stick together. There's the straw hats I already showed them. And the last thing I got, and I got 10 of these. You can never have too many of these. Basically a heat sink for a chip. So that's a packet of 2. Sorry, they're sort of together. Let's see if I can get them apart. Can I get them apart? There we go. You can see that's 2, right? So I bought 10 packs of them, so I got 20 of them. That's for a recent build I did on the Commodore 64. I'm going to put them on all the chips because they can get hot and that can burn them out and that can be the end of them. So if you heat sink your chips, they should last. So, yep, I love that place. I always go to Akihabara LED. That place is awesome. Yeah, I love it. I even tried to get one of their stickers. They had a shop, like a logo sticker. And I kept trying to say sticker. I kept translating it and it wasn't coming across. But then he realised what I was asking for eventually. And he said sold out. So I'm like, oh man, gotta get the sticker. But, yeah, so. Next, and I forget the name of this place. I went in this place with Terry. And they sell a lot of figurines. And as we went in, there was this giant Chung-Li as you go in. And then I went in the back and I saw a RoboCop figure. And I'm like, oh no. So my best friend, if you don't know, and we love RoboCop. So every instance of RoboCop I've basically got, except the Criterion Collection RoboCop. I don't have that one. It was always really expensive to get. So I don't have that. But my friend loves RoboCop. He's got big statues of RoboCop and face molds. He's got like a little RoboCop shrine. It's such a great movie. We love this movie. And anyway, I went in this shop and they had RoboCop and RoboCop 2 figures in the same box. You know, that's it there. And as you can see, it comes with all sorts of different faces and like battle damage armor, different armor. I'm like, this is such a cool little set. And yeah, this was not cheap because this was 10,090 yen, which is $100.90 in my money. So I think there was a discount on it. I think it was like 94. I think there was like 10% off or something. And yeah, so I've got this from my mate. I'm going to give this to him soon. He'll be wrapped, I think. I couldn't afford to get him Robocop 2, but it was basically the same figure with, if for those of you who don't know, Robocop 2, they changed the paint job on Robocop. It looks a bit more bluey purple, so it had that level of detail. So it's something I really like in Japan too. When you buy something, they put this paid sticker on. I think that's great. Yeah, so there can be no confusion if you get stopped. Like, did you steal that? No, I did not. We went to the Pokemon Center. We finally went to... We always go to the Pokemon Center, sorry. But we got to go to the Pokemon Cafe this time. So the Pokemon Cafe has been so hard to get into. Yeah, they have the Pokemon Cafe and you go in and you have a meal and then, like, you know, a fake Pikachu comes out and dances around and waves at you and stuff. You know what I mean? The food was amazing at this place. Expensive, really expensive. But yeah, we finally got in and my friend got it. She found a way to get it and you have to go through, like, basically like a scalper is the only way that you get into Pokemon Cafe when one of these Go Fest shows is on. Because last time we tried everything, and even Terry tried to get me tickets. He speaks fluent Japanese, lives in Japan, and he couldn't even get me a ticket. Like this is how like controlled it is, I guess. You know, it's a big lucrative market where they scalp the tickets and add a bit of inflation on top, I guess. But yeah, so we got to go this time. We probably won't go again. We got to experience it. I had this Pikachu pancake that you're seeing, which was really nice. It was really, really good. The food was fucking excellent. The strawberries were so fresh. That's like the best strawberry I've ever had is probably that strawberry you're seeing in this photo. It was amazing. But yeah, so once you're done in the Pokemon Cafe, you can get merch. And one of the things they had this spoon was in the drink that I had, and I went, I wonder if I could buy that spoon. It looks so great. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a nice high quality, good spoon for a drink. And yeah, you could buy it. As you can see, I bought one, and now I have one. Yeah, so that's one of the things I got. And then they had one of the Pikachus that comes out that I said was dancing around was this black Pikachu. So I got him. This is like the mini one. You can get a big one too. But I decided to get a bigger... They had two other Pikachus that are part of the cafe. The waitress who serves you, Pikachu, and there was like another cook. I think this is like the head cook. The one wearing black's like the head cook, Pikachu. Anyway, wherever you go, they have exclusive Pikachus in Japan, okay? You'll see. I got more to show you. So I got the hostess. It's the one who serves you. She brings you the food. She or he brings you the food. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm going to have a little... I've got a whole bunch of plushies. I've also got the Indonesian one from when I went to Bali. I got a whole bunch of Pikachus. And, yeah, again, these say Pokemon Center on them and made in Japan, usually. It is made in Japan. Pokemon Cafe. It's made in Japan. Can't see where it's made in. I have to translate it. But I assume these are made in Japan. I'll tell you what. No, there's no. Doesn't tell me. Sometimes they're made in China. Sometimes China makes them to a high standard, but sometimes they're just... Usually they say made in Japan. I think this one said made in Japan, wasn't it? Yeah. This one is made in Japan. And I could tell straight away. You could tell that this is a really good spoon. It's straight away. You see it on the back, made in Japan. It's like, oh, it says it there under the Pokemon logo in Japan. But yeah, they have a level of quality that that they abide by, and it's great. It's great. I like that. Ensures that, yeah, you pay for this stuff, but you get a good product. Some of the other things I bought, I bought some Pokemon stickers. I'll give this to my friend's daughter. I gave her a small Pikachu last time. I'll give her a big Pikachu now. I'll give her a Pikachu and Eevee one. Got a few Kangaskhan's because, you know, I'm Aussie. That's the Australian. That's the kangaroo Pokemon. Got a few more of these little vinyl charms. They're cute. Might give them out. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I got them all from the Tokyo one. And these was what I was showing you before, the Little Night collection. I ended up getting more of these from other Pokemon centers because like I said, we started out at the Tokyo one, Tokyo DX, and then we went to Tokyo Skytree, where I got this one, a Rayquaza, shiny Rayquaza patch. And yeah, these just look great. They really do. You put it together, you display it, it looks classy. See, these I think were made in China. I think I saw made in China on something. Yeah, there it is, made in China. I saw it on the bottom. So this one is actually made in China, but these are sold at the Pokemon Center, and they look quite good. So, not everything is made in Japan, and that was that one. Yeah, so that was basically everything in. Oh wait, no, the last thing, the big thing. I'll save the big thing for last. So the big thing I got in Tokyo, Akihabara, Super Potato. And I did try to get this last time, and last time there was only 2 Saturns left, Sega Saturns left in Super Potato. And I thought they were too yellow. And I'm like, oh, I'll wait, because Terry did say that he can help me get a Saturn if I don't find one. And he'll get it cheaper, because like I said, that price. So I paid about $140 for this Saturn, and I'm sure you could get a Saturn if you looked around quite easily in Japan for $100. Probably cheaper. But that price is cheap for me. If I try to get a Saturn here in Australia, 500, 600 probably, maybe 400. But so 140 is cheap for me. But you can get cheaper in Japan if you look around. But anyway, Japan, if you don't know, I've got an Australian Saturn. As you know, I did those Sega Saturn Mortal Kombat reviews, and Japan has a different coloured Saturn. They had a few Saturns. And this was the one I always wanted. I thought, I fell in love with this one when I started seeing it, when I worked in a retro game store. I'm like, there's something about it. Like, it's grey, but it's got this, like, burgundy eject button. But the controller has these, like, colourful buttons. I don't know, like, it sort of looks like a toy. But I still think it's kind of cool. Like, it's still kind of serious. The burgundy buttons up the top there. I haven't checked those. Of course, everything works. So I took this out, and I realised, because this was all wrapped in cellophane when you buy it, when you go to Super Potato. And then when I got to Australia, I'm like, I didn't even check it. I hope it's not, like, fucked. You know what I mean? And then I'm pressing all the buttons, and I'm like, everything works. And I forgot, it's Japan. They probably test everything before they sell it, because you can go into that place, Super Potato, and they have heaps of broken consoles that you can buy, and you can use the shells, or you can use them for parts. And I just love that. They love and embrace the culture. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I've got a genuine Japanese Saturn, and I'm quite happy with that. And I want to, for those of you who don't know, Saturns, the biggest failure on the Saturns is the optical drive. The optical drive fails on them. So what I would like to do is, you can get boards that guys make called a ODE, an optical drive emulator, and it's a board that has an SD card on it, and that uses a ribbon cable, and that goes basically straight in the spot where the optical drive goes. It literally just uses the same cable and pretends it's an optical drive, but it's not. It's an SD drive, and you don't have to modify the console at all, and it will just boot into that, and then it will play the games that you own, because Saturn games are just normal CDs. You can just put them in your CD-ROM and copy them as copy the disc contents, or make an ISO out of them, and it will just run off that SD of that SD card. And so you can forever play the Saturns, and it makes these not useless anymore because, like I said, the optical drives fail on them. But the rest of the hardware is quite solid. And Saturns have quite amazing hardware, very overly engineered. So the guy that invented the ODE, he's one of the guys that worked on it. I watched all these videos of him doing it in lockdown. And he had a Saturn out, and he had 1,000 wires coming off it, like soldered straight to the board, and he was working out a way to get it to work through the port on the back here, the MPEG player port, the expansion port, you know, and yeah, the hardware's quite amazing. the motherboard is quite a engineering feat. Like, it's full of lots of protections and stuff, but the disk media is not, and the disk drive is terrible, and they fail. So I'm quite happy that I got one. You know, I haven't turned it on yet. I hope it works. I've done a visual inspection. It looks like it's never even been unscrewed before. And so it should be fine. I do have a step-down converter to step down my Australian 220 volts to... It'll step it down to 110. Japan has a weird voltage. It's 100 volts there, but apparently 110 is okay. You can run it on 110. I think the most you can go up to is like 140. But yeah, so I think America's 110, and that's why I've got the step down at 110. I don't have step down to 100, but it's within the realm of acceptance, so that's cool. And that's the other thing I bought at Super Potato. Something else I got in this was at the Hard Rock Cafe in Bueno. So it's got a ninja with a guitar there, which I think is fucking awesome. And I was quite lucky that they had this one. I was talking to the Japanese girls there for a while. They were so friendly. If you ever go to Japan, if you go to Bueno, or we say U-E-N-O. It sounds like but it's Bueno Station. Go to the Hard Rock Cafe. Even if you just go into the shop. We just went into the shop, and I thought I'll get a souvenir from Japan. And they said, "Oh, we got this limited pin. It's called a puzzle pin." And I'll put it up on the screen so you can see the other ones. But if you want to get the set, see, I've got the N. It spells Japan. And the N had the ninja. And I just like it. N. Ninja. Japan. That's the perfect pin for me. I like ninjas. It's funny, I was in Osaka last year. I don't know if they had it almost a year ago. But I don't know. I didn't go into the Hard Rock Cafe at all in Osaka. But they had a samurai pin and a different letter, so... And then, yeah, you go to other ones and you can get the letters that spell Japan. And it's limited edition too, so I like that. And, yeah, just a great pin. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I love that. He's a music ninja. I went to a temple. I think that was in Bueno Park. And I got this charm, which I think means good fortune. I've forgotten already. Damn it. It's purple and gold. I said I'm getting that. Purple's my favourite colour, if you guys don't know. And it just looks amazing. And, yeah, these charms are supposed to be good luck for you. Put that around the house somewhere. Yeah, and that's, oh, this is something else I got. Another Pikachu plushie. So this one, the story behind him, this is called the Sky Tree Pikachu. So one of the Pokemon centers is in the Sky Tree. If you don't know what Sky Tree is, it's this tower. It's the tallest tower in Japan. We went there. Our reservation was at 6 o'clock. As we were walking over there, where it's kind of windy, and I'm taking a video out the front, and it's changing colours. And then we go inside, and they're like, "No." And we're like, "We got ticket." And they're like, "No." And they closed it because of the fucking wind. And they closed it at 5, and our appointment was at 6. And we're like, oh. So we didn't get to go to Skytree, which sucks. We did get to go to the Pokemon Center, though, because it was at the bottom. And we did get the exclusive plushie of Skytree. But we didn't get to go to the top, which has an amazing view, you know. But it's probably better we didn't go up there, because my friend found out later that people that went up there and then it got closed got stuck up there for like hours, which is kind of scary while it's like in the wind. So I don't know where I want to be stuck, not seeing it or up there seeing it but not being allowed to leave. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, Skytree Town Pikachu, I got him, so he's got to go on the shelf with all the other Pikachus. Yeah, they're all friends. I'm gonna have a shelf of all Pikachus from around the world. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. I've got to get on that. But yeah, that's basically everything that I bought in Tokyo in over the course of like 4 hours. Oh, left out something. I gotta mention this, and I'm gonna put the video up in. I'm gonna put it up in the. I'm gonna overlay it. So, two of the other things I had in Tokyo while walking around, we had the Taiyaki Magikarp cookie, which was a cookie that had either chocolate like cream in it or like a custard. My friend had the custard one, I had the chocolate one, and it's like, you know, it's getting all over my beard. I'm like, oh my god. It was quite nice. It was good, but you break into it and the cream escapes, and it was delicious. But that was a dessert. But let me tell you, the best thing you can have, I'm telling you guys, you got to have this. If you go to Japan, the Kobe beef skewer. Oh my god, it was so fucking good. So I love beef. I'm a meat eater. I love meat. Okay? And you go to this little booth, this little tiny little booth on the street, and they barbecue this skewer right in front of you so that you can order it, and they have all these different kinds of skewers, all these different kinds of meat. The one you want to get is the Kobe beef one. It's about $20. It's a skewer. It's just a skewer of beef, and they barbecue it in front of you, and they season it, and they're like flame grilling, you know, it's just cool. They're cooking it right in front of you, you know, and then you get it, and it was so good. The only thing that ruined the experience was, and I was shocked by this, I've never seen this before, a lady came up to us, a beggar came up to us in Japan and asked us for money. You really don't normally see this. While I was sitting there enjoying this thing, and I was like, I don't have any money, which is a lie, but this is a policy, and maybe in Japan it's different, but I'm a bit more cautious when traveling. There's a lot of scams. I don't know if Japan has them, but a lot of other countries have scams with giving people money. You gotta be really careful. So I'm just like, nah. So straight away I'm like, nah. And in Australia, I don't give people money on the street here because we have a system. Those people can get help, they can get money, but then they go out there and ask people for money as well. And I'm like, nah. And the people who ask for money are the people who don't need help. So I see real homeless here, and they're the people who are not asking for money. They're like sleeping under a bridge or something, and they're not asking anybody for any money. But then there's this whole other group of people, like they have signs and hats down there like, I need money. They're the ones who don't need money. They usually don't need it, and they're just asking for more money, and that's how they live. And I just hate it. I just hate it, you know. So generally that put me off. That this lady came up and asked us for money, you know, and I was just like, nah, you know. But back to the skewer, regardless of what your personal opinion is on that, this skewer was so fucking good. It was so hot when they gave it to me. It was like, when I say hot, temperature, right? It was like straight off the barbecue. Like it almost burnt me. Hot. My friend had to take the photo. I couldn't take the photo because I'm holding this little skewer and it's like red hot. Like, and I'm like, this thing's amazing. Like it's red hot. So I know it's going to be good, right? And the Kobe beef has really good marbling. It has like, so I don't like beef with big chunks of fat on them. I always cut that big chunk of fat off, but I don't mind a little bit of fat marbling through the meat, and that's what this had. And then when they barbecue it, it melts, you know, and then it just puts taste all through the meat, and it was so amazing. And I'm eating this thing going, oh, this is so good. And I wanted to just stay there. I wanted to have another one, but we had to go. You know what I mean? And I wanted to just stay there. I reckon if I was by myself, I reckon I would have stayed there for a couple of hours and had a few more. It was delicious. It was probably the best thing I've had in Japan was that damn skewer. It was so fucking good. It was amazing. just thinking about it. It was delicious. It was so good. Yeah, so that's everything I bought in Tokyo. So yeah, I had a great time. Spent about 800 bucks on stuff, and just as you can see, they have all sorts of stuff in Japan. It's great. It's a great place. I love it. They have such a level of quality. You never buy anything and it's like, this is shit. Like, for example, these stickers that I held up before, and you might think this is a rip-off, but these stickers are about $4 each. But they're like a high quality sticker. They're a sticker that's designed to last. So they're like waterproof and UV proof. So apparently you can chuck it on your car and it should last. Do you know what I mean? And I've even got one on the back of my phone. And, it's like, it's doing all right. So, it's a great place. Now, I can show you more things that I bought in Japan, but I didn't buy these in Tokyo. I bought these later at other places. So if you're interested, I'll go get those now. And I'll show you the other things that I got while I was in Japan, in Sendai. Alright, what else did I get? So, I'll start with this one. This is some of the gachas I got. There's a little Mew in this one. I think you're supposed to return these capsules, but I kept them. It's just make sure it gets back to Australia safer. So there's an unknown in that. That's something that I always go after in Pokemon. I wanted the unknown one. I played it twice, and I played it once and got the unknown, and then I tried again and got the Mew. And then there were these guys. These are great. So these were expensive gachas, right? And these ones you didn't have to return. I'll show you why, because they're actually part of things. So you see how there's 3 colors. The one I wanted was the orange one. I got last. So these were $5. So it took me $15 to get it. Actually, I think I had to play it like 4 or 5 times to get this one. And this was the one time where I showed a bit of my Western side. So I'm playing this machine and it was really low. Like you could feel it when you turned it. It felt loose. That was like, and you looked in the machine through you could see that there was only like a few of them left, and it wasn't giving me the prize. You turn it to the right, and it wouldn't give me the prize, and I was like, and I was turning it like that, but not hard. I wasn't like shaking the machine, like, oh, but I was turning it like aggressively, like, and a lady was looking at me, and I'm like, it's not working, and she just looked at me like, doesn't speak English, right? I'm like, and then a lady comes over, she goes, no. Before she came over, sorry, I turned it to the right, then turned it to the left, because it turned. It went either way, and then it gave me the prize. And I'm like, okay, it's just because it's low. I guess you got to jiggle it, go right, then left. Then the lady comes over and she goes, no. To me, no. Only this way. And I'm like, yeah, but this way broken. She go, I fix. Okay, or something. She opened it up and... I showed a bit of my Western side then, but it's not my fault. If I turned it to the right and then turned it to the left, it worked. It gave me the thing. So I don't see why that was a problem. And it turned to the right. I wasn't forcing it. I wasn't breaking it. But she said it. You can only turn it to the right. So anyway, what these are is it's Pokemon. You take the top off. You take him away, right? You take this away. And then you take that paper away, right? And then you got your figure in here, right? And this one's Dragonite. And that's why I wanted it. Dragonite's another one of my favourite Pokemon. Right? And then you got this. And he's shooting fire. It's very rare to see Dragonite shoot fire. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted it. And you put that in the mouth. Right? See how he's shooting fire? Now, then you get this bit, right? And check this out. You pop that off. And you're left with this little stand, right? Now he goes on the stand like that, right? You put him on your shelf, and then you flick the switch, and he lights up. Well, the fire lights up. Do you know what I mean? You set him up on the platform, and it's a bit hard with the light. The light's draining out the other light. The light I've got on for my face. So, but it came out. Yeah, see, I didn't put it in properly. Because you got to get in there, right? But yeah, as you can see, you set him up, you display him, and then you turn the light on. And anyway, that's why it was a deluxe one. And I went, oh, that's so cool. Japan just loves things that light up, and I've always been like that since I was a kid. And then you can just put all this back together, and that's where it goes. You know, and yeah, I had to play a few times to win, but I got it, so I'm very happy with that. Something else I got. Me and my friend, there's another Pokemon we like called Spinder. And they basically had these little trays, and one of the Pokemon is Spinder, and it's very hard to get Spinder on things. In Spinder, they call him Patchy. That's the Japanese name for Spinder. Because in Japan, a lot of Pokemon have different names. Patchy is the Japanese name. Spinder is the English name. And, yeah, basically, I just went to my friend, I'll buy 4 and hope for the best. And I got 2 Spinders in there. And she bought a whole bunch and I got 1 Spinder. And so I gave her one of the other Spinders. I just wanted 1 Spinder. So we traded. She gave me Pikachu. She had a spare Pikachu. And I got a... He's in here somewhere. Damn it. So I got a few of these little trays. You can put cheese on them or biscuits. You know, it's like a food tray sort of thing. Who's this last one? Oh, there's one of the cards. I was looking for that. Actually. Oh, I didn't know that stuck to that. Oh, good, I got it off. That was the Pokemon Go Fest. When you bought something at the Pokemon Center, they gave you 1 postcard. Strictly 1. My friend, because the first time she bought something, I was waiting outside because we were taking in turns. We were watching each other's luggage. And she asked for 2, and the lady's like, no, only 1. And she's like, oh, but my friend's outside. And she goes, okay, I'll give you 2. You know, but yeah, so they generally don't want to do it, but there it is. There, I got the Spinder. We like Spinder because he's drunk. I don't know if you guys realise. He's like... And the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, he's a drunk Pokemon. He's drunk Pokemon. You know, so... we like him because Spinder likes to party. He's a drinker. Next. Other things I got in Japan. Don't look at me like that. It's a handle for your umbrella. Dirty fucks. You know, I got the last one. Dude, I got the last one. I said, it's too funny not to buy this thing. It's just too funny not to buy it. It's too funny. It looks like a penis. It's too funny not to buy it. So we bought one. I bought one. What else? The bag. Wilted on me. I got a Lapras sort of plate, sort of like those other plates. So, in Pokemon, the town we were in, Sendai, it's supposed to be where Lapras is from. Japan goes to this level with their things. So, they nominate parts of Japan, and they're like, this part is where blah 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 is from. So, Sendai is Lapras town. So, we were in Sendai for the Pokemon Go Fest, and they had a lot of Lapras things. So, I bought that. I bought a plushie Lapras as well, seeing we're from Lapras town. They had more of them. I got this placemat. We think this is where that you maybe set those bowls up on. So as you can see, it's the same artwork as on that box, right? This is the only other thing that's been done. I had to fold it or something. But yeah, these were all the patterns that you could get. And we think maybe you're supposed to set the bowls up and this goes under it. Because it just says placemat when you translate. We went to the Lapras Cafe, and that was awesome, and we got this little souvenir for the Lapras Cafe. Oh, that's the souvenir I got from the Pokemon Cafe. I don't know what Pokemon this is. No, it's upside down. Sorry. See, I don't know what that is. It's not in Pokemon Go yet. If it's not in Pokemon Go, I don't know what the hell it is. So, I'm a casual Pokemon player. I'm the one that the hardcore Pokemon players probably really hate, because I play the phone game. I didn't play the actual games, and that's why I like the phone game, because I can go to the pub and drink and play Pokemon and catch. I like that. That's why I like the phone game. It's really casual, and it's not, I have to be at home to play it sort of stuff. I went to a place called Santee, and I did do a little vlog. Let's run that now. Hi there, guys and girls. Me, Total MK from Japan. I've been having a great time here for the Pokemon Go Fest. I just checked out this store, Santee. That was a tip from Brandon Tan, and now it's raining. And yeah, no, they had a lot of Pokemon things in here and little things that you can't. See, the thing about Japan is they have everything that we don't in Australia, and all you do is spend money. So, you know, I spent about $1,000 the first day I was in Akihabara. Like all my savings, just everything's just gone. Like, so it's a couple $100 left, and that's it. You know, until I get back home. But no, it's been great here. I love this place. There's respect culture here that we don't have in Australia. You know, everyone's polite and nice. And it's just been, this is my second time here. It's just been such a great trip. As far as Pokemon Go goes, I've done really well out of that game. And this special event, like, I almost have everything that was exclusive to Japan. So, yeah, no complaints there, but yeah, just sort of do a quick vlog and yeah, just to show you guys I'm here. It's Santee. Yeah, so at Santee I did buy a few more of the blind boxes. I'd never seen this one before. It's like a 10th anniversary Pikachu. I should have bought more of these. These are quite nice. They're quite lovely. Got the gold on there, and the 1 in 6 that you get, they're all good Pokemon. So you're either going to get the starter Pikachu, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and then the other two were Vulpix and Mew, which are all good pokes. And yeah, I did open this, and I didn't get Pikachu. Who did I get? Was it Mew again? I don't mean Vulpix. What did I get? You get a lolly in there too. You get a candy. There's a stand. And there's the what's it, Charmander? Oh, it's Charmander. I got Charmander. Yeah, you like Charmander. So yeah. That was at Santee. If you go to Japan. Santee was in Sendai. I don't know if there's other Santees around. No, in Japan there probably is. That's sort of how they do things in Japan. Oh yeah, I did buy a second one. I bought 2. This one must have Vulpix. I think one of them had Vulpix. I don't remember now. I opened them ages ago. Oh no, it's got Mew in it. Mew. Yeah, so that 1 in 6 thing can be disappointing. I would have liked to have had Pikachu, just because, you know, Pikachu's he's the man. It's his brand. And I did buy another Little Knight one, which is it was a Shuppet and a, I think, Poipole. It's a new Pokemon that, again, I don't really know much about. So we just got Poipole. Yeah. That was the one I didn't want. I said to my friend, that's the one I don't want. That's the one that's going to be in the box. Yep. That's how it goes. I'm like, that's the one I don't want. I shouldn't have said that out loud, because now that's the one you're going to get. When you say that shit out loud. Next, what do we got? I bought all these stickers in from this is the sticker place that makes those stickers that I was showing you. That was at the Pokemon Center. So they actually have their own shop, because they're called B-Side Label, right? Lapras sticker, because again, Lapras Town. But they had all these Ace Attorney. Again, you guys know I'm obsessed with Phoenix, right? All these Ace Attorney stickers. I bought a whole bunch, because I love Ace Attorney. Objection. I bought some things for my my sister and my nephews and my niece, and you won't see them in the video because I've sort of already packed them up. But that was some of those stickers and some little earrings and stuff from my niece. She loves anime culture, so she should hopefully like that stuff. Yeah, my friend spotted this in Book Off Sendai. It's a Ho-Oh. That's my favourite legendary Pokemon. Yeah. And we got... Now this is where I was spending all my time in Book Off. So, some Super Nintendo and original Famicom games. The first one that caught my eye was this one, right? I don't even know what this game is. I have no clue. But it's $11. But see that Technos Japan? That's what caught my eye. I love Technos Japan. They made one of my favourite games, Herzong's Way. I saw Technos Japan and I thought, I'm just going to get it. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. It could be a terrible game, but Technos Japan make good games, so I'm going to roll the dice. And then I got this. This was $9. I couldn't resist. It's a little dirty, but it's the original Super Mario Brothers. There we go. I'm not saying the original cartridge. It could be a re-release cartridge. I don't know. But it says on it Super Mario Brothers, made in Japan. It's got the original artwork there. Let's open it. I haven't opened it yet. See, it's got that thank you sticker on it. Again, when I open it, it's going to tear that in half, isn't it? It is. Oh, well. I'll open it sometime. So let's take that cartridge out. I want to look at it. Yeah, it is a little dirty. Oh, it's got a bit of a... Yeah, it is grubby. This cartridge is grubby. But, that's the original Mario Brothers. It's got that original artwork that I like. I think they had box ones, but I think they had box ones. I think they were expensive, so I didn't bother. I just saw this Super Mario RPG, Super Nintendo. It's very hard to find in a PAL region, but it's got to be, obviously, Japanese language. But it was $4.80. I'm like, I'm not going to not get that for $4.80. Come on. $4.80. You know how rare that is in our territory? Anyway, I was mentioning earlier about the Justice for All for $3. Here it is. It was actually $2.70. New best price. So this Book Off sells stuff secondhand, right? I haven't opened it, but that's the game, right? Gaiuken Saiban 2, I think is how you say it in Japanese. But just to give you an idea, when I went to Santee, I bought the first Phoenix Wright, and they still sell it brand new. This is a brand new copy. So this is unopened. See? And they have seen new best price. This is a game from 2000. And you could still buy it new in Japan. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, shit. But it wasn't cheap, because this was not from Book Off. This was from Santee. And this was, I think, like $20 or $25 or something. And I thought, 22 maybe. And I thought, fuck it. It's Phoenix Wright. I love this game. Like, I love it. So I got the first one. I got the second one. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the third one. I asked if you had the third one, because it's a trilogy, the first 3 games. And then, as you remember earlier in the video, I was talking about getting a physical copy of 5 and 6. So there they are. 5 Dual Destinies with Anitha Sykes and Simon Blackwell, and this was the Spirit of Justice, which I never finished. This is the only Phoenix Wright I haven't finished. It had a really complicated system, a part in the game, and couldn't get my head around it, and sort of never went back to it. I do that sometimes. I'm pretty sure I got ADD or ADHD or something. When I get frustrated at something, I just abandon it, and sometimes I got to force myself to go back to it. I should go back to it because I really do love Phoenix Wright, but this one I didn't finish. But again, I had to buy it digitally, and I fucking hated that. Now I've got a physical one to put on the shelf, so I can have it, have it in my collection there, have them spine on, so yeah, that's them. And believe me when I said they had so many games. I saw so many things. I saw Justifiers in Japan And I'm like, should I buy one? I needed the second. I've got a Justifier, an English one, but I need the pink gun. I need the second one, but I didn't see that separately. So we went to the statue of Dante Masuke. He's like the guy who founded Sentai. This is their little gift shop. I won't get it, but I've got in the kitchen. It's like a letter opener. It's all metal. It's like a samurai sword, and it goes on a little stand. And when my friends saw that stuff, I think that's metal, and I said I'm gonna risk it because it's only like that long, right? So I'm gonna risk it, you know. And I got through customs no problem. So there's a Dante Masuke fan, or sensu. They call this a sensu in Japan. It means fan. There's a little flag of him. I got. And then, oh, it's open. It's falling out. I had these. They're really cheap. You might know them. You've seen them. I'm gonna have to wipe it. I got my fingerprints all over it. But yeah, little display of that. Only $5 for that. I thought $5. They had a big one. I like that about Japan. They had a cheap one. They always seem to have a cheap one and a big one. Like the Pikachu you saw before, I had the little Pikachu and the big one. So, you know, even if you're a low income earner, you can still buy something. There's still something for you. I like that. That's cool. You know, I like when they have something for everybody. But that's most of the stuff that I got in Japan. And then I just played Pokemon and ate food the rest of the time and drank beer from the vending machine. It was great. Every time we get back from playing Pokemon in the park, we go back to our hotel. And we walked through the lobby and the vending machine was there. And it's just like, and I had beer. And it's just like, you just stop there, put in all your change that you got throughout the day. You put in your $2.80 and get your Kirin Ichiban beer, which I absolutely love. It's always been one of my favorite Japanese beers. And I always thought Asahi was bigger in Japan. And stupid me based that on stupid what beer sells here. And Asahi has a dominance in Australia. Most places that have Japanese beer on tap will have Asahi on tap. And they hardly ever have Kirin. So I always thought Asahi must be the more popular drink. But you get to Japan and it's the other way around. It's like they love Kirin. Kirin's everywhere. Asahi's around, but Kirin is actually the dominant one. And yeah, so every vending machine had like Kirin beer in it. Well, not everyone, but you know, you didn't even have to look around hard to find a vending machine with beer in it. It's great. It's fantastic. I love Japan. It's just such a great place. So yeah, that's the end of this video. It was great. Yeah, every time we come back, we get a beer and relax. And then we went back to Australia, and now I'm back here with all my stuff. And I've just got to find a place for all this shit. But yeah, I had a great time, man. Got some great electronics, some great collectibles, some great, you know, display pieces, some great games, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. You could spend so much money in Japan. I could spend just in Super Potato. I think it would take me a good week to look at everything in Super Potato because there's the language barrier too, right? And you go floor by floor, and it's like this floor has NES on it, or this floor has Sega, this floor has Nintendo, the top floor has arcades. That's something I should add. I already put this on my personal Facebook, but one of the coolest things in Japan, and stupid me last time, I filmed the Final Fight arcade, and then I stopped the video right before it did the part where it shows Jessica kidnapped, and she's just in the Japanese version of Final Fight. She's just in a bra, and she's like crying, and it's like, oh my god, it's supposed to be like serious. It's like, oh my god, they've kidnapped her, they've ripped her dress off, you know. And then you play the game and you beat the shit out of everyone and save her, right? That's the whole point of the game. But when they released the game outside Japan, they're like, no, don't put her in a bra. No, that's too far. That scared the local markets. So they kept her in the red dress in the cutscenes, in the ending, and in the intro. But in Japan, no, it's got her in the fucking bra. I'm like, yeah, that's the proper way they did it. They wanted to be serious. They wanted to tell a story, you know. So I got to see that. If you go to Super Potato, go to the top floor. Final Fight arcade is there, so I sat there and I let it run through the demo. I didn't play it, but I let it run through, And I took photos with it and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, cool. It's good to see the original, you know, the untouched one, you know, the uncensored one, you know. So, yeah, it's great. Yeah, so, yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope you had fun sharing some of my Japanese purchases. It's a great place, man. If you guys should go. Japan's pretty cheap at the moment. I highly recommend going to Japan. But if you do go, just a warning, getting all this stuff back to Australia, it was a little bit of a struggle. Closing the case, you're like squashing everything down. So, pack light, because you got to fill up your case with shit to bring back, trust me. And I knew that this time. I packed the minimum amount of clothes. I dedicated half of my case for that Sega Saturn, because I knew that was going to be a big thing, but I had to fit everything else as well, and I managed to do it just. So, it managed to all just fit. So, yeah, there's a tip for you. Leave some space, take some money. Whatever you think you're going to spend on stuff there, double it. Because I came back to Australia, and that reserve money I mentioned, yeah, I spent all that. And then some. So, I came back to Australia with basically nothing. Then they announced that convention with the John Tobias is going to be out in America. I'm like, oh, damn it. Right after I get back from Japan, the timing is so bad. It's like, fuck. Oh. Damn. A convention with Ed Boon and John Tobias at it together with Kerry Hoskins and Sal DeVita. Mate, I would love to go to that. I'll have to look into it. I don't think I can afford it, but yeah. That's how she goes. I had great fun in Japan. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys for another video soon. Peace out. Oh, one other thing I forgot to add. My friend Terry, who showed me around Tokyo last time and this time, actually gave me a copy of Mortal Kombat 1 on Super Nintendo. He got me a copy of Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo, which I wanted because it had visual changes. As a Mortal Kombat collector, they're the ones I want. Something that has something notably different, not just that the language is different or something. So Mortal Kombat 2 in Japan has green blood, and when you do fatalities, they're black and white. And he got me those. And he got me Mortal Kombat 3. He knew I was after that last time too. It has a narration by a Japanese voice over the intro screens, over the bios and the endings. So I'm going to do a stream on these 3 games, and a separate stream, and show you guys these at some stage. I've just been sitting on it, but now that I've got all 3, I'll probably just do all 3 in one stream, and we'll check them out. So I'm excited to do that. I actually have the Mortal Kombat 3 CD PlayStation in this computer right now, and there's a folder called Japan in it with all the audio. So I've heard it, so it's definitely in there. It's definitely 100%, but I haven't put it in the PlayStation yet. So we're going to be doing that on the stream. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. So keep your eyes out for that one. I'll be doing that sometime soon. No date, but hopefully very soon. So yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks again, Terry. You're the man.